So in the build-up phase of this game, we saw Inter Milan's 5-3-2 system become a 2-4 shape in the defensive third, with Skriniar pulling out to the right back position and one of Calhanoglu or Vidal dropping alongside Brozovic. The reason why I think Inzaghi likes this sort of build-up is because Liverpool were pressing in a narrow 4-3-3 shape, with Salah and Mane sitting narrow alongside Jota, and therefore having Skriniar and Perisic hold their width gave Inter outlets on the flanks, and because Dumfries pushed up the field down the right side, Robertson couldn't push out as far to pressurise Skriniar, as Alexander-Arnold was doing to Perisic on the right side. However, this didn't stop Liverpool's press being extremely effective. But before I break everything down in more detail, let me tell you about today's sponsor, OneFootball, which is my go-to football app for the news and results updates that I need, as well as player transfer news and following everything with Manchester United right now. I would say that it's the most convenient place to find out what's going on in the football world, as sometimes when I'm on Twitter or Instagram, I spend ages trying to find different news items, whereas OneFootball has it all in one place. They've also got highlights from different leagues around the world, as well as other video football content as well. And the best part is that it's completely free to download. A link will be left in the description below, and by downloading the app you would be helping to support the channel as well. Harvey Elliott and Thiago would push high up the pitch onto the deep double pivot of Inter Milan, with Fabinho sitting behind, giving Liverpool an extremely high narrow front five pentagon shape, which made it hard for Inter to play out into the middle third. Liverpool are one of the best sides in the world when it comes to high pressure, because their front 5 or 6 remain both extremely horizontally and vertically compact, allowing them to swarm the deeper lying central players when they receive the ball, and because of this, Inter Milan were forced along into Edin Dzeko a lot of the time. When Inter did play out and had the ball in the middle third, Liverpool would drop off slightly deeper, but still retaining a narrow 4-3-3 shape, as Inter would move to a 3-3-4, with Skriniar dropping into the back 3. The central midfielders would remain relatively deep, and the two wing backs, Dumfries and Perisic, would push up the flanks into advanced positions. This essentially meant that Liverpool and Inter were matching shapes when Inter had the ball in the middle third. Now, whilst Liverpool pressed very well, so did Inter in the first half. Liverpool used a 3-4 shape in the build-up, with Alexander-Arnold sometimes sitting deeper than Robertson on the right side, but sometimes Alexander-Arnold would push up, creating a 2-4 shape in the defensive third. They pressed Liverpool in a 3-5-2, with the wing-backs being willing to push forward to pressurise Liverpool's full-backs, with Perisic looking to apply the pressure aggressively to Alexander-Arnold when he was positioned deep. Inter's midfield 3 would push up to man-to-man press Fabinho, Thiago and Elliott, and like Klopp's side, they were very effective at forcing Liverpool along, which led to quite a disjointed game, with neither side being able to establish large spells of possession. Inter would drop off into a 5-3-2 in the middle third, with Liverpool moving to a 2-4-1-3 or a 2-5-3 shape depending on where Harvey Elliott was positioned, but most of the time it was Thiago alongside Fabinho in a midfield double pivot, with Elliott slightly higher on the right side, often drifting over to the right flank when Alexander-Arnold remained deep, which in turn would also allow Salah to retain a narrower position, which is where his goal came from later on in the game. Now, both sides cancelled each other out, not just in the first half but also throughout the whole game, as can be seen as Inter had 0 shots on target, with Liverpool only having 2 themselves, which turned out to be the goals. And this for Inter was because they lacked pace up front. There was a couple of times where long passes were played over the top for Dzeko, and he looked like he had just run a marathon, as Konate and Van Dijk were easily able to stride back and catch up with him to take away the opportunity. Also, Lautaro Martinez as well struggled, not even attempting to take on Van Dijk in a one-on-one situation, due to him knowing that Van Dijk would probably easily dispossess him if he tried. Inter Milan's best route to goal came from the flanks. In the first half, Perisic was causing Alexander-Arnold problems down Inter's left side by racing past him and putting crosses into the box, and one of these crosses fell to Calhanoglu, who was unlucky to see his strike crash down off the bar. In the second half, Inter were able to play through an uncommon, uncoordinated Liverpool press, and the ball was moved on to Dumfries, who played a fantastic cross-field pass to Perisic, who once again had run off Alexander-Arnold, who was quite lax with his positional play and one-on-one defending throughout the game, and Perisic's cross across the box just evaded Lautaro Martinez. As the match went on, Inter began to fatigue more and more, not pressing as high as they did in the first half, and even when Alexis Sanchez came on, they lacked real pace in behind to cause Liverpool problems. Roberto Firmino was a man who made the difference with a fantastic flicked header at the near post from a corner, nestling in the far corner past Handanovic, before Salah's scuffed shot trickled into the net, giving Liverpool the 2-0 victory that they probably deserved as the match went on, and this can be seen as they recorded a total XG of 1.46 to Inter Milan 0.50. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe and click the bell. Check the description for my other Champions League analysis videos as well. I will be doing analysis videos on all the Champions League games. I should have one out on PSG Real Madrid, and they'll all be in the playlist linked in the description below.